Joining me now to discuss is retired Army four-star General Wesley Clark. General, first of all, thank you for your service. This week, the White House announced the 275 million in additional military aid to Ukraine, marking a total of roughly 51 billion spent in military assistance to the country since Russia invaded. According to the AP News, with the ongoing turmoil overseas regarding Ukraine and Israel, how do you think the military views our commander-in-chief right now?
I think they view him very positively. He's a man who stands up for America. He's said the right things. The budget looked pretty good. He's proud of the men and women in the armed forces, and he respects our values, which are basically his values.
I'm curious the message he hit on today, with just everything happening in our world right now and the crises facing our country. I know the president touched on it in his speech a little bit, that the generation that these cadets they're walking into now, second lieutenants, is much different than decades ago. What is your sense of the climate and just, in the sense of that we're also having that challenge with recruiting officers as well? How do you think this all folds together?
Well, I think it is a different experience. 30 years ago, the United States was the unchallenged superpower. Today, we have rivals in Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, all nuclear weapons. Russia's willing to use force. China's looking anxiously and longingly at taking over Taiwan. I think this generation of young American military leaders, I think they're going to follow in the footsteps of many of us who fought in war to protect America, our interests, and our values.
Such a special weekend for you to join us here, and I'm just curious what you took away from the speech, from his commencement address here today. Did he hit on and touch on the right tone in his message there at West Point?
I think he hit all the right points. You've got to talk about the international situation because these young men and women are going to face that international situation in a very real and direct sense as soon as they finish their post-commissioning schooling. 6 months from now, they'll be on the front lines. They could be in Korea, they could be in the Pacific, they could be in one of the reinforcing units in Germany or in Poland, waiting and watching and trying to deter adventurism by one of our potential adversaries. But he also talked about the importance of the Constitution and their duty to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This has become an increasingly important aspect of our oath because we recognize that there are those who might want to misuse the armed forces, who might expect that the people in the armed forces could take a personal oath, like the Nazi generals did to Adolf Hitler. And we have no personal loyalty. We're loyal to the Constitution of the United States. And he hit that theme very, very strongly, and that's the foundation of our democracy, the peaceful transfer of power and the understanding that the armed forces isn't loyal to a person, it's loyal to our system of government, to the Constitution of the United States.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.